how has all this shift and all of these things really accelerated both product lines, if you will, as far as giving a wholesome solution? Because I'm sure clients are coming to you not only for a product, but for an actual solution that could be deployable, and some counseling around how is this all going to happen? How does that all tie in together for you guys?
Yeah, no, I would say that it's created us to position ourselves as more of a solution provider. So if you've got a remote installation where you need control, there's the SCADA pack RTU, and then where there's a SCADA pack RTU, you require power and you need a package. So I'm now providing a full turnkey cabinet that's got all of that gear integrated, and then it's what other connected devices? Do you have meters? Do you have sensors? And so it just increases our product offering, but it also helps an end user because they're de-risking kind of the site design, and they're allowing us to kind of specialize in what we do, and take a more scope and just a different look at the footprint.
No, that's very cool. So as far as maybe I'm listening in on the show and I'm thinking, I can see the applications. I can see how I can solve a lot of remote configurations. I can see that I can get alternative energy, to support my facility. Over the past few years, in all those special use cases that you've seen, like which one has really stood out to you as like, wow, this is actually a really special install. Like it's really out of the box for us. Like, has one really opened up that way for you guys as far as the complexity and the innovative thought process behind putting that in?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick just one. I would say though, the installations that we're doing in the security and surveillance market has been really interesting for us, where we've got clients that are integrating fuel cells into their mobile surveillance systems, and then they're deploying them across North America at a rapid pace. So that has probably been one of the more interesting projects.
Right.
But then you get the smaller ones, like the one I had mentioned earlier, where we're doing the climate change project in Antarctica, where we're powering all of the measurement gear that's looking at the glacier movements. So it's never a dull moment.
No, absolutely. And I mean, we all know that with chemical reactions, with gases, and like different things that you can put in place, temperature has a big impact.
Mhm.
So how does that come together when you're putting it into like as cold of a climate as you can in Antarctica, and then maybe like in the middle of Texas where it's a little bit warmer, a little
Yeah.
bit, a little bit warmer. How does that factor in with your different technologies and your different cells from the environmental side of things, as far as impacting the performance of it?
Yeah, so that's where it gets fun. That's probably where we start looking at more energy solutions and packaging. And that's where it's really understanding what the application is and the use case for the fuel cell. Does that mean that you want us to provide you with a Pelican box that's going to be somewhat transportable, like what we did in Antarctica? Or do you need a trailer system where you'd use that on an open pit mine, for example? Or do you need a stationary cabinet, which you'd see more commonly in the oil and gas industry? So probably one of the first questions that I get asked is, how do fuel cells perform in cold weather?
Mhm.
And it comes down to how you've integrated it and how you've packaged it. And that's really the expertise that we've been able to bring in Canada. All of our systems are designed down to minus 45 degrees Celsius and then get tested down to minus 60 degrees. So I'd like to say that we're more experienced with hot weather up in Canada, but unfortunately we live in the cold, and that's kind of our area of
Exactly.
expertise.
Yeah, you become an expert in insulation
Exactly.
to make it work, right?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. So outside of that, I mean, we always have a roadmap,
Mhm.
and we always have a wish list. And I mean, not that I'm asking you to kind of like, spill the beans on any cool stuff and new R&D things that you're working on, but if you had like a magic wand and you're thinking, based on what we're doing now, it'd be really cool if we did X. What is it, what does the future look like for you and with your team at SFC, and what could be possible in the future that's been interesting for you guys to look into?
Yeah, I would say it's hydrogen. I mean,
Yeah.
you get a lot of global talk about the hydrogen economy, and such an emphasis on how we need to move away from fossil fuels or find a balance, which I strongly believe there's a balance in using fossil fuels and renewables. And so the hydrogen portfolio just brings us into new markets and new applications and higher power. And I think that's probably where you're going to start seeing a lot more unique systems coming out of SFC Energy.
Mm-hmm.